And hey there, it's me, Mudlink, and welcome back to some more The Greatest Attorney Adventures. So last time, we did a little deduction against that Egbert Benedict guy. He ended up running away and getting arrested, of course. And, we just spent some time with Holmes and Iris, get to find out a lot of mysteries mainly about a story called The Hound of the Baskerville. And, Gina's back and, of course, is now going to be accused of murder. Since Windy Bank is dead now, and hey, maybe we can make the assumption that he just blew his own brains out. Anyway, let's go. Ah! I'll be alright, Mr. Naruto. After them, go! That's where no, it's Susato screaming like that, I think. Behind that door, in the storeroom, hurry! It's Gina. From that moment, Windy Bank's pawnbrokery became a crime scene. Everything that followed happened in a whirlwind of activity. The arrival of the police, their preliminary investigation of the scene, and the questioning. It was just before dawn before I was allowed back to my lodgings at 221B. Naruto's legal consultancy again. Oh, Iris. A telegram came, but all it said was, wait at home. Oh yes, we asked one of the policemen to have it sent. It was simply impossible to come back. When I woke up, I was all alone. Harley and Ginny were gone. Everyone was gone. What happened, Bruno? Poor Iris, she's trembling. She's obviously trying very hard not to let herself get too worried. I'll explain everything that I know. Something awful has happened, hasn't it? Yes, I'm afraid so. For anything else, shovel time. That spade has been in here since we started renting the place. Bruno, that's not a spade, it's a shovel. Ah, you're a shoveler, are you? I had a feeling you'd pick me up on that. Oh no, a pick is something else entirely. Now I've dug myself into an even deeper hole. Daruma. Just ruining the tension here. Now the Daruma doll brought with me from home, still with only one eye colored in. I said I'd color the other eye once I won my first case here in Burton, but... That's cruel, only letting it have one eye. Yes, but it's because I don't consider myself a good enough lawyer yet, you see. But to become a fully fledged lawyer, Mr. Sato will color in the other eye for me. Well, in that case, why not color in the other eye now? And then every time you win a new case, give it an extra eye. You can never have too many eyes, you know. Call me crazy, but I'd never consider that. I never considered that. Ruining the tension here. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, Iris, but Mr. Windybank is dead. He was shot. We discovered it in the early hours of the morning. Oh yes, I had a feeling. You did? Well, I saw all those police carriages pull up outside his shop, so I knew something must have happened there. When we entered Windybanks in the small hours, we disturbed a gang of 2 thugs. They ran out onto the street and I chased after them, but they got away. So, it was one of them who shot old Mr. Windybank, I suppose? I don't know, but that's not what the police believe at the moment. Hey, why not? They've arrested someone else as their prime suspect, you see. Gina. Ginny? But why? Well, the thing is... No, Ginny wouldn't do something like that. I know. None of us think she did it. Then why have they arrested her? I'm sorry. There was nothing I could do. So where's Hurley then? Is he still there investigating the scene? He really ought to have some breakfast. It's not good for him to miss meals. I don't want you to worry, Iris, but I have some news about Mr. Holmes. He was taken to the hospital. The hospital. It's weird. It says. I guess it's just old English. They don't put the in front of fucking words. He was taken to the hospital this morning. What? Well, when we entered Windy Banks, a gun was fired and he took a bullet. Hurley was shot? No, no. It's all right. His life isn't in danger. Really? Are you sure? Where is he? Which hospital? He's at St. Sinners. They're tending to him there. I must see him at once. I'm sorry, Iris, but you can't. Why not? That's not fair. I'm a family member. I should be allowed. No, I mean, nobody can see him at the moment. He's not allowed any visitors. They're preparing to operate, you see. To operate? Oh, poor Hurley. It was the two thugs who were in Mr. Windybank's shop. They shot Mr. Holmes when we disturbed them, you see. It was pitch black inside the shop at the time. My mind went totally blank, I'm afraid. I just froze. After them! Go! After that, I ran out into the street, but, well, they were long gone. I shouldn't have hesitated. I'm so sorry. It's my fault. I let them get away. I think it's a very good thing. Sorry? Well, if you'd seen which way they went and chased after them, you might have been shot as well, Miss Bruno. On top of everything else, I couldn't bear that. Oh, Iris. Where's Susie, Bruno? She's still at the police station. Oh, why? I expect she's still being questioned. The police said they wouldn't be finished for a while. Why aren't you there then? Well, I didn't get a good look at the criminals anyway. They weren't questioning me for long. And Miss Usido stayed behind at the scene to tend to Mr. Holmes, so they didn't get started until later. Oh, I see. Besides, one of us had to come back to be with Iris. I'm glad Inspector Gregson agreed to me leaving early. You should have let me know, and I would have come to the station. I don't understand why they arrested Ginny. It's not fair. What about the two thugs that were at the scene? Why aren't they the prime suspects? After all, they shot Hurley dead, didn't they? No, I mean, Mr. Holmes isn't dead, Iris. Ugh. Ah, this is all so horrible. Thing is, Mr. Windybank was found on the floor in the storeroom where he keeps all the deposited articles, and the storeroom door was locked from the inside. I see. But he wasn't alone in there. Gina was found next to him on the floor as well. Oh no! And according to the detectives who investigated afterwards. Don't tell me. There was no one else in the room? Yes, exactly. How'd you know? It's the only explanation. Yes, the only explanation indeed. What do you mean by that, Runo? Well? Ugh, what can I say? Damn if I agree, damn if I don't. I'm afraid I'll need to go out again now, Iris. There's not much I can do at the moment. But at least wait. Wait, I read that in Iris' voice. Whoopsie. But at least I can try to find out how Mr. Holmes and Gina are getting on. I want to go too. Take me with you, Runo. I can't stand just sitting around here waiting. I'm not sure how I feel about taking a 10-year-old child to the scene of murder. But I don't want to leave her all alone here either. Alright then, Iris. Perhaps you can help me. Oh yes, I'd love to. Gina's at the prison. Mr. Holmes is probably in his hospital bed. And don't forget we have to visit the crime scene. We need to conduct a thorough investigation. I can see you're already ready for action. I imagine Iris would appreciate going to the hospital sooner rather than later. Let's go to Holmes' suite first. Because blackboard time. It's the last time we have to do it for this game. It's where you note down ideas, isn't it, Iris? Let's see. What does it say today? The Boscombe Valley mystery. We visited Boscombe Valley recently for a picnic, you see. I forgot to bring the tea. So when Hurley became thirsty, he decided to drink from Boscombe pool. We gave himself an awful tummy ache. Oh dear. Hurley sat there miserable as can be in that field of flowers after that, just like when you saw him yesterday. It really is an unsavory tale. There we go, now we found out what the story is. Wait, first we're gonna go to the prison. Hello, Gina. Why is she allowed to have that and her bag in the prison? Oh, you still have the grenade launcher Hurley and I made. Well, she wouldn't point it at me at all. I wish she wouldn't point it at me all the time, though. What are you here for? Ginny? I have a feeling it's because of us that you've ended up in trouble. So we were thinking that we might be able to help you. Well, you can't. Seriously? Sorry? You heard, get lost. Don't be like that, Ginny. I know you didn't do it. You'd never shoot someone. I just know you wouldn't. You think you know me? Pull the other one. Oh. You ain't got the first idea about the likes of me. I'm a thief. I pinch people's purses when they're walking down the street. That's how I get by. If I saw me chance, I'd sneak into a pawn shop any day of the week. Just to see what I could lay my hands on. Get it? That's the kind of person I am. But Ginny, I'll be in court tomorrow, they said. Some cove came by before and said he'd be a lawyer for me or the like. Said it was my right or something. But I told him to get stuffed. I don't need no lawyer. I don't need no one. She couldn't be staring at me any more obviously if she tried. Why are you being like this, Ginny? I don't understand, Gina. Why did you send the public defender away? They want me to sign some papers, representation papers or something like that. It's all gonna be rigged anyway. They'll trial. They'll pin it on me because I'm a kid. That's what grown-ups always do. Why do you think that? That's how it's always been for me growing up in the back slums. My whole life. If you do what the grown-ups tell you, it'll get your mates dragged off by the coppers, or worse. I've had it happen to me before and all. Been sold out and nearly snaffled on the back of it. You can't trust no one. That's the point. As soon as you do, you're gone to grass. Dead. Gina, listen. If you like, in tomorrow's trial I could... Forget it! Wait, did I... Ginny! Don't you trust Runo? Alright, Gina's... I fucking read it in Iris' goddamn voice again. Motherfucker! Runo, why do you talk like me sometimes? I don't know. No, I don't. Look, I'll ask you nicely now. Just leave me alone. Will you tell us what happened, Gina? Last night, with the pawnbrokers. That's nothing to tell. I figured it paid me, so I broke into the place and started going through the storeroom. But the old bloke walked in on me and you know the rest. But why, Ginny? Why would you do that? Ain't it obvious? The place is full of stuff I could sell for a shilling or two. Diving ain't easy, you know. It's a whole lot of work. It's a lot of work, and half the time you don't even get nothing. Is that really why you broke into the place? What? Are you sure the true reason wasn't something else? Oh, give it a rest. What'd be the point anyway, eh? Nothing I could say would make a blind bit of difference. Please tell us, Ginny. We'll believe you, whatever it is. Believe me? Don't be daft. You can't believe nothing. Everyone lies all the time. And you know what? When it comes to liars, I'm the biggest of the lot. I've told some unforgivable lies, I have. What do you mean by that? What unforgivable lies? What did you mean before, Gina, when you said you were the biggest liar of the lot? Why don't you tell us what these unforgivable lies you told are? Maybe we can help. Sorry. We're out of time. They're gonna want to question me now. Jenny, please. Jenny, please. Jenny, please. Oh yeah. I want to give you this. Something to remember me by. A photographic print of a really adorable cat. I found it in one of the pockets of the scout. Ain't no point me having it. I wonder what a little photograph like that was doing in a pocket of that overcoat. Anyway, don't bother coming again. Bye. Oh, Chinny. There you go. Now we got it in the court record. Let's check it out. We got here's the cat, and let's examine this, shall we? Look on the back of this print here. Something written on it. 30th of February, 9 PM. Article deposited. One small box. Loan amount paid 10 shillings. Redemption deadline 13th of April, 9 PM. So this photographic print is a redemption ticket. 13th of February? That could be significant. It was just 2 days before the murder on the omnibus, wasn't it? Small box. It doesn't tell us much about it, does it? Bruno, if Mr. McGilded still had the ticket, then presumably he'd never redeemed the article. So do you think the box might still be present somewhere in the shop? Ah, yes. If it's something Miss McGilded deposited, we need to investigate. Anyway, nothing more to do here, so let's move. Saint Sinners. Or Saint Signers. Looks like it always be Saint Sinner. I don't know. War 3. Early? Oh. He's not here. No, that's strange. The nurse definitely said he was in the bed by the window, didn't she? Oh, I know what's probably happened. Hurley was being a big baby, and the bullet wound wasn't that bad after all, so he's been sent home. I'm not so sure about that. Baby or not, there's no question that it was a fairly serious injury that Mr. Holmes suffered. Oh. Hello, over here. This war is off limits. No listening, no visiting. So what are you doing in here, eh? Well, I'll have you know, we're Hurley's next of kin. Eh? Oh. Well, begging your pardon then, ma'am. Sir? The lady and a curious Eastern gentleman. The great mystery solver as a mysterious family, eh? That's how you see us, I'm sure. Where is he, Constable? Where's Hurley? I believe he is currently in the operating theatre, ma'am, undergoing an extensive operation. Extensive? Extensive? It has been several hours since he went in. Oh dear, is he going to be alright? Well, it doesn't appear to be working, you see. The anesthetic, that is. Oh, I have heard a report that the gentleman claims he had a little too much to drink last night. Coffee, that is. Anyway, I think it would be fair to assume that he won't be back here for several hours yet. I see. Thank you, Constable. Wait, Puffer. Perhaps we should leave and come back later. Oh, poor Hurley. Got nothing else to do here, so gotta go to Wendy Banks. This is what happened then, last night. That's right. The two thugs I told you about were obviously ransacking the place looking for valuables. But, apart from the policeman in here, you wouldn't know anything had happened. There's no sign of a disturbance. No, you're right about that, actually. In fact, if anyone, it's the police who seem to be the ones doing the ransacking. I know what you mean. They're like a gang of organized criminals all dressed in black. Oh, I heard that. Oh, go blimey. Oh, I heard that. Oh, I heard that. Oh, Inspector, good morning. I suppose I ought to thank you for your vigilance last night. We got to the scene before it was disturbed at least. Shame you let the two rogues get away, mind. Yes, I'm sorry about that. I thought you'd assign extra men to the beat around here, Gregsy. Now look what's happened. Early's been injured because there weren't enough police on duty. Ah! Your ladyship! God blimey, no one told you were coming. I expect you to take full responsibility for what happened to Hurley and see he has the very best medical care. Of course, your ladyship. The very best doctors in the capital tended to him as we speak. And I don't think it's Runo's fault that the rogues managed to get away, is it? Chasing criminals is the police's job. Absolutely, your ladyship. As you say, ma'am, as you say. Oh my god, he's adorable. Agent in Black is totally blameless. Everyone's in agreement about that. Would you believe it? He's like a completely different person with Iris. Talk about a personality change. Oh, where are me manners? Are you thirsty, your ladyship? Perhaps you'd like some juice. Some nice refreshing fruit juice. Oh, why? Are you thirsty, Gregsy? I have some of my special herb tea with me, if you'd like some. God blimey! Lovely. Thank you very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship. I don't even recognize him like this. On the converse. So, how's the investigation going, Inspector? Nothing to it, really. Very simple case, this. There's some very definitive evidence. We're just about to charge that diver we arrested last night, in fact. Gina, you're going to charge her? That's right. Should be able to bring her before the judge at the Bailey tomorrow. Definitive evidence, you say? What is it? Come on, show me. Ladyship, as much as I wish I could oblige you, I'm afraid. Ah, I see. You've already captured the pair of thugs who broke in here last night, have you? What the? And you're going to put them on the stand as witnesses, are you? How could you? How? How could you possibly know that? I had a feeling, that's all. I mean, never to try to keep a secret from Iris. Except you are. Except you are. Ryunosuke, you literally are! So you arrested the two men who shot Mr. Holmes, have you? Well, yes. They were rounded up pretty quickly by the lads on the beat. And Miss Lestrade is being held at the prison? She should be. That's assuming she hasn't lifted the key from the jailer, of course. Can you tell us anything about Mr. Holmes? What's his condition? Sorry, I'm not at liberty to divulge that information. Scotland Yard matters are strictly confidential. Well, I know he's being operated on at St. Sinus. Why can't I see him? I'm family, you know. I'm terribly sorry, your ladyship. It's the hospital's policy. No visiting at all. Oh. The bullet must have hit an artery in his midriff. He's lost a fair bit of blood. Oh no. It didn't seem too bad in the first hour or so, but a hemorrhage like that is enough to make even the one and only Holmes pipe down. Mr. Holmes is a human like the rest of us, you know. Well, anyway, he's having an emergency surgery right now. We've got to stop that bleeding. But he will be alright, won't he? They'll be able to make him better. Of course, your ladyship. People as right as rain is before you know it. Really? How do you know? How do I know? Well, because, of course. Oh yes, because Mr. Holmes is such a great detective, that's why. You better pray the doctors have a better grasp of what's needed to make someone well again. Sorry about that. Oh dear, please don't die, Hurley. I'll report to your ladyship the moment I hear he's out of the operating theater. I could help noticing, Inspector. What? Out with it, sunshine. Well, there seems to be a marked difference between the way you talk to me and Iris. What's the sauce? What's the sauce, Sonny? I'm a copper, and we don't go in for favoritism. But he's right. He did treat us differently. Because of those Adventures of Sherlock Holmes stories, that's why. Oh, I caught up in them, don't I? Inspector Tobias Gregson. Oh, well, yes, because you're an acquaintance of Hurley's. What'd you write about the inspector, Iris? I don't remember, really. It was one of Holmes's lines. Gregson is the smartest of the Scotland Yarders, is how he put it. Oh, did I write that? You know what that one line did for me, eh? The very next month, my pay doubled. Doubled, I tell you. Oh, that's amazing. Well, because everyone at the Yard reads them. They all read the Sherlock Holmes stories. They even set up a fan club for me. Of course. That explains everything. It was around that time that you became such a toady to me. Can you blame me? All it takes is one bad word from you, and Holmes could change his tone about me. Rexon, no. The great detective will say he's getting quite overrated these days. Think about what happened to my salary if that came out in print, eh? The whole thing gives me the willies. I can't tell you how many nights of sleep I lost worrying about it. That would never happen, Gregsy. Every month when the new Rants magazine comes out, my hands are trembling as I turn the pages. Oh, how awful for you. Here, have some of my tea to settle your nerves. Lovely. Thank you very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship. Teetotal. Oh, yeah. There's something I was supposed to talk to you about, actually, Mr. Narhardo. Yes, what is it? I've got an important message for you. I clean forgot about it until now. An important message? I wonder what it could be. Are you going to tell me what this important message is then, Inspector? Yeah, it's about that young lady who's normally by your side. Your assistant. Dear Susie, is she alright? She's at the station, isn't she? Being questioned, I believe. Nope, not anymore. She's had to head off. She had to head off. Head off? Where? To Lord Strongheart's office, of course. You summoned her. Ah, yes, of course. I'd forgotten about that. One of the whipstocks took her there in a yard carriage after we finished questioning her. But she asked us to tell you she didn't have the fare for the return journey and to go and meet her there. She's got a nerve using Scotland Yard as a bloomin' messaging service. I see. Well, thank you for passing that on, Inspector. Why'd Susie have to go to see the Lord Chief Justice? She didn't tell me. But I better head over to the Lord Chief Justice's office to fetch her straight away. And that we shall do. Yes, no matter how many times I come here, I always get the same sense of oppressiveness somehow. Do you think the place is oppressive? I think it's normal. How so? I mean, look at the suit of armor over there. You can't take that seriously, can you? Maybe it thinks the same about you. So everything is clear, and it's clear with regard to tomorrow's arrangements, I trust. Yes, thank you very much. There they are, Susato-san and Lord Strongheart. I wonder what they're talking about. They both look very serious. Very good. There is nothing further to discuss. You may return to your lodgings. No doubt you have much to do in preparation for your return to your homeland. Wait, what did you say? Your return to your homeland? Susato-san! Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. What was that all about? What was all that about? Ah, Mr. Naruhodo, thank you for coming to collect your colleague. What's this all about? Why are you talking about Susato-san's return to her homeland? And tomorrow? Tomorrow? But what about Ginny's trial? You mean she's been formally charged now? Oh dear. Mr. Soda, what's it all about? Oh, please don't concern yourself, Mr. Naruhodo. It's only me going back to Japan. Your life here can continue just as it has. That's not what I asked! What happened? Why are you leaving? It's my father. He's fallen ill. Oh no! Professor Mikotoba? If I may. I don't remember what his voice was like at all. Yeah, sorry. You must be the defendant. Murinosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Eugene Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yumeyo University. We received an international telegram from the Empire of Japan informing us of the news. 10 days ago, Father collapsed with a fever. The cause is apparently unknown, and it seems he grows weaker day by day. I don't believe it. As you are aware, the voyage from here to your journey's capital, Tokyo, takes some 50 days. I thought it would be prudent to hasten Miss Susado's departure as much as possible. Yes, absolutely. I will leave London first thing tomorrow morning. Can't believe this is happening. So Jean has been charged? She'll have to appear in court? Yes, she was formally charged a few hours ago, and the date of the trial has already been set for tomorrow. No, not even 24 hours later? Gina. Ah, the Lestrade girl and the murder of the Baker Street pawnbroker, yes? An all too conspicuous case. The pickpocket was clearly disturbed mid-robbery and shot the man in a panic. You know, the art is overstretched as it is, without wasting time on these open and shut cases. It's not wasting time. Ginny would never do something like that. Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, yes, Lord Strongheart? In deference of your fine services to date, I shall overlook this young girl's insolence. But I have no recollection of admitting a child into my office. Leave, now. Of course, Lord Strongheart. Criminals will tell the most palpable lies in order to evade justice. The police can ill afford the time it takes to unravel all their untruths. Meanwhile, more crimes are perpetrated. We have far more serious matters with which to contend. Serious matters? Didn't Gregson mention something like that yesterday? Yes, Inspector Gregson made a similar remark yesterday. It's no concern of yours, though I'm sure I need not remind you of that. "3 minutes precisely until my next meeting. You must excuse me." There's just one more thing, Lord Strongheart. Which is? It's Miss Lestrade's trial. I wonder if you might permit me to defend her. A timely suggestion. Sorry. The girl currently has no representation. But that's not fair. Yes, she may be a pickpocket, but she still deserves a fair trial. Do not misunderstand me, young lady. The government provides those too poor to afford representation with a public defender. The accused need only sign the relevant paperwork, and the defense barrister will be assigned to the case. However, the young girl in question has refused that right. Why would she do that? A question you would do well to direct to Miss Lestrade. You'll find her at the local prison. Yeah, well, you can come here first. It tells you that. But I mean, you can also go to the prison first, and yeah, it doesn't matter either way. Yes, thank you. Now then, it's time I was leaving. Good day to you. What a day. Gina charged with the murder. Susada-san about to leave. Come, Miss Naruhodo. Iris, we must make haste. But Susie, you're leaving for Japan tomorrow morning, aren't you? Don't you have packing and things to do? As Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, my personal circumstances are of no consequence. My sole purpose remains to help you in whatever way I can. Thank you, Miss Susato. I keep on flopping back and forth between the fucking pronunciation. Susato. That's a very pensive look. I think we ought to visit Gina first. In any case, I should like to wish her well before I leave. Yes, that sounds like a good idea. Let's go. If I'm honest, this is completely throwing me off. I'll just have to do what I can as a lawyer. There you go. Local prison, cell 13. Ah! Ah! Hello again, Gina. So I'm just checking something. Just checking something quick. What are you lot here for now? To have the muzzle of that grenade launcher shoved in our faces yet again, obviously. I think I need to improve the way you load ammunition into that thing, don't I? Look! You can come as many times as you like, but I ain't got nothing more to say to you. Gina, I wonder if you might hear me out. There's something I'd like to say. There's something I'd like to say. What? Sorry to say that I must reluctantly bid you farewell. Eh? Farewell? Tomorrow I must begin my journey back home, to Japan. I fear that we may never meet again. Oh, right. I've had the pleasure of meeting so many lovely people here in London. I have so many wonderful memories. And yet, as things stand now, it will be a glum parting indeed. Poor Iris is so miserable. Susie. Well, that ain't my business. Both Iris and Mr. Naruto believe you to be innocent, Gina. They put their faith in you. But somehow, you can't find it in your heart to put your faith in them. Yeah, that's right. I can't. All of it. It grieves me greatly to have to say goodbye to my friends. Over that. Oh. It grieves me greatly to have to say goodbye to my friends when they are so clearly unhappy. Because of you. What? It's my fault? Yes, so I have one final request, Gina, before our paths never cross again. Right here and now, I want you to show both of them that you don't deserve the faith they've invested in you. Eh? Only by doing that will you truly be as alone as you claim to be. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you expecting me to do, eh? You have told us that everyone lies. So prove it by admitting one of your own untruths. What about what you said before, Ginny? You said something about unforgivable lies. Lies. Lies? What the fuck I sound like that? You must tell Miss Naruto and Iris the truth now. This is my last request before I leave. My last request as a judicial assistant. No, I can't. Whatever these lies are, they're obviously weighing very heavily on Gina's mind. Gina could be wrong, but is it something to do with what happened 2 months ago? Something about that trial? The one in which Magnus McGilded was acquitted? The case of that mysterious murder that took place inside the omnibus. You were called as a witness by the prosecution. Is that what this is about? Yeah, you're right. Because in that trial, I lied. I lied like you wouldn't believe. Will you tell us about it now? Like you said, it all happened 2 months ago. The coppers got a hold of me and shoved me in the witness stand. And based on your testimony, Mr. McGilded was declared innocent. Yeah, well, the thing is, I lied about a whole bunch of stuff. I knew it. What sort of thing did you lie about? I was hiding under the seat that night. That was the truth. Hang on. Sorry. It was pitch black in that little cubby-o. I couldn't see a thing, and then I heard that loud thud, like someone fall on the floor. That's when Mr. McGilded discovered you? Yeah. He pulled me out from under the seat and sat me next to the dead man. There wasn't much light to see by, but when I looked at me hands, I had the cub's blood all over him. All over him. I was so scared I couldn't even speak. You had his blood on your hands? In other words, it was Gina that the witnesses saw on the roof deck saw through the skylights. Then Mr. McGilded starts asking you questions, I suppose. Sorry. Then Mr. McGilded started asking you questions, I suppose. Who you were and why you were hiding under the seat? Yeah, he did. Only, that's not all. What do you mean? I mean, he threatened me. Threatened you how? It made me swear about what I'd seen and what I heard. And about what he was gonna do after the cub was found dead. It made me swear I wouldn't tell no one about any of it. Oh, did that? He said he'd let me scarp it before the copper showed up. Gina, you must tell me what he swore to you the secrecy about. What you saw, what you heard, everything. You said McGilded made you swear not to tell anybody what you saw. But you were in the pitch black compartment under the seat the whole time, weren't you? Yes, with Mr. McGilded sitting above your head, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's true, but it was when I heard the thud of the ghost hitting the floor, I let out a little scream, see? Couldn't help it. McGilded heard that and dragged me out by my arm, and that's when I saw it. It was on the floor next to the old geezer where I'd been stabbed. A disc, all bright and shiny. A disc? Do you mean... Yeah, that's it. The one with what the D took off me at Windy Banks. So the music box disc was there on the floor. So the music. What kind of fucking sound did I just make there? Trying to clear my throat and then ugh. Sounded fucking disgusting. I'm sorry. So the music box disc was there on the floor of the omnibus. Not for long, we got the spy straight away. He picked it up smartish and stuffed it in his inside pocket. So that disc was in the omnibus 2 months ago at the scene of Mr. Mason's murder. And the bog trotter told me, I went to mutter a word of it to no one. Oh yeah, she actually said bog trotter there, okay. Because it's like, wait, I'm pretty sure like they were supposed to, they fucking changed it or something, because it is technically like a slur, technically. Oh, I guess they didn't change it. Alright. Oh no, okay. So it wasn't changed. I thought it was. But yeah, it wasn't really offensive before, but now it's considered like almost like a slur. Who cares? Because it was so dark under that seat in the cab. I was straining me eyes, straining me ears the whole time. After a while, I heard the door and footsteps inside the cabin. Presumably, that was McGilded getting on board. Nah, not only him. Oh, because I could definitely make out the footsteps of 2 people. In that case, it would seem likely that it was Mr. McGilded and the victim, Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason. In his testimony during the trial, Mr. McGilded claimed he slept during the carriage ride. But whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness and I always succumb to it. I hate that I have to do the voice again. In your own testimony, Gina supported his. Okay, it was Irishmen snoring. Yeah, that wasn't exactly true. Neither of them was asleep. I could hear them talking the whole time in low voices. What? What were they talking about? Sorry, I don't know. The sound of the horses and the wheels was too loud. It still tells us something. Mr. McGilded and the victim knew each other. So McGilded was lying, as I suspected. I knew it wasn't going to take me long before someone raised the alarm that the bloke had been killed. Yes, you were quite right. The other passengers on the roof deck noticed very quickly. So when the cabin came to a stop, McGilded told me to hide back under the seat again. I climbed in and waited. The two cops from up top ran off to get the coppers. Yes, Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First. Right, and after they'd gone, McGilded asked the driver to do him a favor. A favor? Now then, fella, what I need you to do is to take this coat of mine and deposit it with a nearby pawnbroker. And for your troubles, let's see now. I'll give you 10 guineas. A nearby pawnbroker? You mean on Baker Street? Yep, you got it. It was Windy Banks. The coach, he snapped up the money and ran off to pop his coat as fast as he could. So then there was no one left in the carriage. Gilded opened the box under the seat and let me get out of there, but not without conditions. I see. What were McGilded's conditions then? For letting you go free, I mean. Not telling us so. Not for anything. About what I saw and what I heard. Hang on. Sorry about that. Another phone call. Not telling us so. Not for anything. Not for anything. About what I saw or what I heard. And there was something else as well. There's more? Yeah. This is the most important thing. This is the most important thing. He said. I'm after sending the coachman on a little errand for me with some small change in his hand. Now then, did you hear what I asked of him? Did you see anything at all? You asked him to go pop your weasel. You asked him to go pop your You asked him to go pop your weasel, right? Aye. The fiend's taken the overcoat to deposit with the pawnbroker hereabouts. And I want you, lass, to take the redemption ticket for it. Do you understand? What? You want me to have the ticket? That's right. And I'll come fetch it for you later. Sometime within the next 2 months. You have to hang on to it until then. Is that clear? And whatever you do, don't lose it. Alright then. In case that might happen to be delayed at all. You're to go to the bond shop, Windy Banks, so it is, and you're to extend the loan after the 2 months is up. If you forget, the article will be forfeited and any old fiend can come along and buy it. But I ain't got that kind of brass. It's £5. Yeah, it's £5. That should be enough. Do you understand each other, lass? Don't try anything funny now. If you go against me. Yeah, I get it. Good. And one more thing. In a few days from now, you'll be visited by the police, I've no doubt. The coppers. Aye, they'll come asking you to take the stand in court to testify as a witness. So let's just have a wee chat about that, shall we? What is it that you might say, and what is it that you want? After he'd gone over it all, I piked it. Go as far away from there as I could. He hid the pawnbroker's ticket in some bushes near the scene. I went to fetch it the next day once it got dark. Ugh, losing the voice. Losing the voice. Losing the voice. So McGilded planned it, and coerced Gina into giving false testimony. I bet you're ready to string me up, eh? I lied. In that big old courtroom. I told some caucus. The thing is, he said he would make it so we couldn't live in the East End no more. That's what he threatened me That's what he threatened me with. What a wicked man. He knew everything what went on in the back slums. He knew he had no one to look after us. We had no one to look after us, and he was all just looking out for each other, getting by together. So you mean Mr. McGilded would have, in an heartbeat, he could have had the whole lot of us chased out of there if he wanted. And then where could we have gone, eh? Nowhere, that's where. So I didn't have no choice. Thank you, Gina, for telling us everything. But I'm for it now, eh? Go on, admit it. You must be livid. Well, you can make amends by doing me a simple favor. Favor? What? Sign the representation papers for tomorrow's trial. Eh? If you don't actually want me to represent you in court, you can rip it up later. But we need that paperwork or we can't investigate. The police won't let us. Investigate what? Scene of the incident last night. Mr. Holmes was shot, you see. You what? Riley's having a big operation right now, Ginny. Is it bad? Is it gonna be alright? Holmes is gonna be alright, right? That's why I want you to investigate. For Mr. Holmes' sake as much as anything. Right. So what you're saying is, well, it's on that bit of paper. Everyone's happy, is that it? Something like that. Mr. Sato? Yes, of course. I have the representation papers here. I don't need no one to stick up for me, though. No lawyer, nothing. Poor Ginny. She seems so lonely. Well, at least it should mean we can investigate the scene at Windy Banks now. Yes, and perhaps we can come back to visit Ginny when we're done there. I feel like we finally cracked Gina. She's opened up to us at last, and now I have her representation papers. No one else knows just what a responsibility that is. Anyway, for now it means Inspector Gregson can't stop us investigating at Windy Banks. Although, something tells me he's not going to be happy about it. To be continued. And yeah, we're gonna end it off here. Perfectly timed to be continued. Even though it's not an hour long this episode, we'll still close it off here. So last part of the investigation anyway. And it's decently long. Probably 2 more episodes of investigation. So anyway, we've gotten to a lot more insight about Gina, and we found out how fucking twisted Magnus McGilded really is. That fucking cocksucker. So yeah, that's gonna be it this time. So next time on the Great Ace Attorney Adventures, we're gonna be finishing off. Well, hopefully finishing off the investigation. Although I don't know, probably won't have enough time to do the entire 4th part of the investigation. But I mean, hey, maybe it'll be 2 parts, whatever. This case is getting closer and closer to being done for the investigations. The trial though is fucking long, so gotta watch out for that. So anyway, I'll be seeing you guys next time. Take care.